It's the Stack Attack Fantasy Podcast, your one-stop shop to dominate fantasy baseball and football. Come get some.
Yo, baby, yo, here we go. Let's start the show. It's the Stack Attack Fantasy Podcast. I'm your host, Jeff Trella, and with me, as always, ladies and gentlemen, my brother from another mother, it's Trader Andy in the house.
What's up, man?
Good, bro?
What's going on, bro?
Chilling.
Yeah,
going for a different vibe today, you know.
All
Things have been a little stressful, so we're going with a little psychedelic look today with a little neon light going on and everything.
That Philly sign is just going to make me puke.
Trying to change it up. Yeah, well, the Dolphins flag was on front of the house, but I had to let that go in the wind this week. So, crash and burn if I don't believe.
So
all right. I don't know, man. Flanking him to the left is the Greek god of the mock draft. It's Nick Mimi. What's up?
What's going on? What's up?
You looked up for a minute. Thanks.
I did. I was tweeting. I was writing something on my phone.
You're tweeting. You're getting people to join in. Hopefully, they don't think we suck.
Yeah, they don't think we suck.
Let me just tell you something. In the famous words of Aaron Rodgers, I'm just happy. It was nice to go and put some nice picks out there, to get the trolls off our backs for this week. So I'm excited about that. So we didn't have to go from suck to blow yet.
Mega Made.
Oh no.
Oh man. All right. We always start off with the good stuff. So let's start off with a victory lap. Nick, what do you got for me?
Last night, Aaron Rodgers, baby, won me $100, a little DFS bet in there. And just fantasy in general. I needed 39 points between him and the Packer defense, and I got 44. I think he was on fire, and he probably could have had more if he didn't miss those two, wide open passes to MVS at the end there.
So nice. Madbun won you $100. Nice.
I did.
Nice.
All right, Andy, what do you got for me?
Just the baseball guy is on fire. I've won every league this week. Doing really well in the fishbowl, coming off a bad loss where I put up almost 200 points. But head to head sucks. But I'm doing well, and I'm enjoying it so far.
All right, I'm going to take a victory lap on y'all. So on our DFS show on Friday, obviously, if you were watching, there's a couple of jackasses trolling us in the comment section, right? And I got thrown off by it a little bit because I started ready to fire away. And if you heard the last 2 minutes of our show, I stuttered a little bit because I went back and forth and what do we say to this? And I thought of the right thing to say afterwards. I didn't want to be nasty in return because trolls are trolls and I don't want to troll back because that's not the right thing to do. But here's the bottom line, dude. You want to know what my credentials are? I played on 3 sites this week. I doubled up or more on all of them, right? I placed 7 bets this week. I won 5 of them. I have 12 head-to-head leagues. I went 11-1 this week, okay? I have a guillotine league that I lost Cam Akers, J.K. Dobbins, and then Raheem Mostert, and I had the highest points this week, right? Scott Fishbowl, I played against the guy with the second most points in the entire conference, and I beat his ass by 25. So there's your credentials, all right? Take a lap around that.
Does that count as your rant? Because that sounds
like
a rant.
That's a rant.
Oh, yeah.
You're fired up, and I like it, man.
Hell yeah. Just because I don't have a freaking $1 million in my account on DraftKings doesn't mean I don't know what the hell I'm talking about, all right?
Well,
so you don't have to be a damn millionaire and playing $20,000 a week to know what the hell you're talking about. We know what the hell we're talking about here, guys.
So listen
That's
to this.
it. Turn it off if you don't want to watch it.
They're there on a Saturday night listening to us. Obviously, they're looking for something because they don't have it.
All right. I don't want to take a crash and burn after that. I'm feeling good. So I got no crash and burn. You guys got something, or you want to keep it positive?
Yeah, really quick. Scott Fishbowl went against I looked at my lineup, and I had Trevor Lawrence with -7 points in Fishbowl, and I was going against Daniel Jones and Jared Goff. And I said, come into the week, all right, cool. he's going to have maybe 20 combined points from his quarterbacks. Yeah, 50 points, and I lost by 5.
Goff looked good.
Goff looked awesome.
I was ripping him, but he actually looked on point.
And he has no receivers to throw to either.
Yeah, he's got to be in the right system. That's what it comes down to, right?
Yeah, easily.
Quintez Cephas, baby.
Real quick, let me give a quick shout out to my boy George Rivera on the line, who said, "Let's go Jets," because he bets against the Jets in every one of our suicide pools, and he's moving forward. So good job.
Smart.
Listen, the offer only happened once in NFL history, so it will bite you in the ass at some point.
Well, we're going Broncos this week. Let's go.
All right.
Trap game.
All right, so
nice.
my crash and burn obviously is I put a lot of weight into the DFS lineup for the Chargers and the Cowboys, which laid a big goose egg. If they cashed like they were supposed to, I would have been very well this week. But they looked like crap. So that was my crash.
All right, cool. All right, before we get into the waiver wire for this week. Remember, we always are talking about my man Reed, okay? We want to make sure that we're helping out this family. It's scrolling along the bottom there. In the amount of time that it takes you to set your waiver claims tonight, you could make a small contribution to @Hello, my name is Reed, REED, if you're listening and not watching. All right, this family needs your help. This young man needs your help and your support. Rally for Reed is next weekend, right?
October
2nd. Okay. So we're really going to push this on Friday. Definitely Andy's going to be there. My family will be there as well. All right. Looking forward to that. But let's get into the football. All right. So let's talk some waiver wire, Mr. Nick, Mr. Article Nick. All right. So let's start off with running backs. Okay. We have a couple of injuries this week, right?
Yep.
So who are we looking at so far? We're going to try to keep it to players that are approximately 50% owned.
In that range,
right. If we're not looking at the people that are 90% owned. Because,
no, we're not looking at the Tony Pollards. They're not an option for me. If Tony Pollard's available in your league, he should be added immediately.
Right. Absolutely. And if you're in a 10-team league and you need a little bit of help, just reach out to us and let us know.
Yeah, the best thing to do too, for especially tonight, is go to your waiver wire, hit rostered percentage, and hit that, and look at the highest percentage of free agents available. And sometimes there's gonna be some slips in the crack.
Right. All right. Cool. All right. So who are we looking at here? We're looking at your top guy, probably McKissick, you think?
Yeah, right. Yeah, right now, McKissick is he's under 50% owned. Looking at ESPN, he's 42% rostered. He had a huge Thursday night game for the Washington football team. He only had 4 carries, but receiving wise, he had 5 catches, 83 yards, and he did have the rushing touchdown. He had 110 receiving targets last year, and it's seeming like he might not hit that number, but he's looking good. And he outplayed Gibson. And it's going to be the same situation as it was last year. Fitzpatrick's on IR, and Heinecke's in, and he's going to check down.
Yeah, you think this is a product of the quarterback change?
I think it's a good possibility. Fitz is we talked about it in the offseason with Fitz, and he wasn't going to check down. He was just going to throw the ball with his head turned sideways, and I don't think he's getting that job back right now.
Right. All right. So if you're in need, especially in a PPR situation, if you're in need of a running back and you're considering him a flex, how much of your remaining budget are you going to put on him?
I'd go probably 30-35% here.
Right. Okay. Nice. Let's go over to the Jets. Michael Carter looked good.
So
man.
Michael Carter. If we look at redraft, Michael Carter is probably like an 8th, 9th round pick. And after the first game, people just dropped him left and right. They weren't being patient. They said, F it. He's 55% rostered on ESPN. But if you watch that abysmal, absolutely terrible Jets game on Sunday, he looked good. He was fighting for extra yards. He was breaking tackles. He had 1 reception where he broke 2 tackles, fought for the first down. He's a starter for the Jets. It's clear as day. He had 11 carries for 59 yards. He's the guy right now. I believe he had 2 catches for 29. Jets' run defense is doing very well. Morgan Moses, the right tackle, was, I think, rated as the 4th best tackle on Sunday. So I think it's on the up for Michael Carter from here. Ty Johnson's the only main competition. I think Tevin Coleman had 4 or 5 carries. So Carter's the guy right now.
They ran the ball very well overall. They looked pretty good.
Right.
The holes were there, and I think that Carter's game and the passing game is going to be a little better this week coming up.
Yeah, I think it's gonna be a rebound for the Jets. I just saw Bradley Chubb's probably gonna be out too for the Broncos, so they might have a chance to do something.
Well, you have to realize what they're going to probably try to do is do short passing, quick jump offs to give his confidence back because he is lost.
Yeah, you have to. That's the thing. Saleh in the press conference said he needs to learn how to play boring football, and that's checkdowns.
Yeah, that wins in the NFL, absolutely, and it wins for fantasy. We learned that.
Mm-hmm.
Woo!
Oh yeah.
Woo! Woo! All right. So next up, kind of saw this one coming. James White, man.
Yeah.
Wow.
He's back.
Looks like the good old days.
Who said that? Who said that?
He's back.
Huh? Yeah, I said that Friday night. Troll.
And you used him in DFS, right? He was dirt cheap. He was dirt cheap, and he went off.
Well, Ramondre Stevenson's inactive. So, J.J. Taylor's number 2, but he didn't get much looking. James White had a rushing touchdown. James White torched the Jets on the in the air.
The Jets, you have to play running backs against the Jets.
Yeah, that's what it is, especially the pass-catching backs.
The Broncos, they got some nice running backs.
He had 6 catches for 45 yards. And a full-point PPR, that's double digits even before the touchdown.
He's cheap.
He's cheap. He's dirt cheap.
And But I think the most important thing that you said, Nick, was that rushing touchdown. Other than Damian Harris breaking off a long one, he was relatively not involved.
Nothing at all.
Pretty much ineffective.
Yeah.
And James White was in there as a standard running back, which we haven't really seen before. Yeah. So there's something different going on there. That's something that's pretty exciting. So this might be a priority ad.
Yeah. I mean, look at it 2-3 years ago. He was a 4th, 5th, 6th round fantasy pick. Nothing's changed just except the quarterback.
Right. Well, here's the thing. And we talked about last week how I said Mac Jones has that presence of himself, very similar to Tom Brady, where he knows where he is in the pocket and what's going on around him. Obviously, he doesn't have the skill set or the brain yet, but he has that mobility in the pocket and the pocket presence. Cam Newton, his first reaction is always tuck the ball and run. Mm-hmm. So with Mac Jones being more of a pocket passer, like you said, similar to how Brady always was, maybe that first reaction is to dump it off to James White, which seems to work.
Keep in mind, too, the Patriots were without their right tackle, Trent Brown. He was out. So they're going to get him back on next week and better numbers. James White is a priority head right now, if he's there.
Right. All right. So the last guy that's really got a little bit of helium on him on the running back side is one of these gadget players, Daryl Patterson.
Yeah.
Let's talk about that. I know you guys are higher on him than I am.
I've faded a little bit on him. I think he's more hit or miss. I think he's going to be fool's gold. He's battling Mike Davis starting reps. I mean, look at Patterson. I mean, he had 7 carries, 11 yards, which is absolutely nothing. He did have a rushing touchdown. He had 5 catches, 58, and another touchdown. He is wide receiver, running back eligible on a lot of sites, but I don't know.
Yep.
Mike Davis is there. They're gonna get him the ball. He's gonna be like an 8 to 12 point guy a game, probably.
That's fine. You grab him now, and then you use him during the bye weeks because that's what he is. If he's starting for you right now, your team sucks and you've been decimated by injuries, and you need to go home and worry about baseball. But if you're going to get him now, like I just put a couple claims in for now, he's going to be on my bench when the time comes. He's very versatile, and it's very. I like him as a player. I think he's going to be pretty good.
Yeah, you got to keep in mind too with the bye weeks coming up too. It's like week 6. I think the bye weeks start. Start stacking your bench for that too.
Andy, I think you said it absolutely perfectly. This is a guy that you're only going to use as a bye week replacement. If he's on your roster as a starter, your team sucks and you got bigger problems. He's very big play dependent, and you have to understand that you're starting him on a week-to-week basis with the possibility of a 0 or an 80-yard touchdown. One of those two is going to happen. So That's the viability with him, and I think you couldn't have said it any better than you did. You use him as a bye week replacement, no matter role, because that's the thing. Mike Davis in a bad game script still had 7 receptions, right? In a game that he was basically invisible, he still had 7 catches.
You know he's playing next?
Yeah, what's that?
You know who he's playing next?
Who's that?
The Giants.
Yep, perfect. So, yeah, Mike Davis is the clear number one. Even if Mike Davis went down, Daryl Patterson does not become the lead running back on the team.
Wayne Gallman would.
Right, 100%. Patterson is going to maintain this role throughout the season, regardless of Davis's performance, Davis's health. Yeah. There's other a lead running back than Cordero Patterson, but on any given week, he could pop 15, 20 points for you.
No, your psychedelic stuff is not working. So.
What happened?
You just went Max Headroom.
Sorry.
Yeah.
It's the flannel. It must be the flannel he's wearing.
Yeah.
Dude, I came home from work. I didn't even have time to change, man. I don't know. All right. You have any other speculative?
Yeah, I would keep an eye on. I'd keep a spec-ed eye on Chuba Hubbard. I just keep an eye on him. McCaffrey had cramps on Sunday. He's listed as questionable. He's going to play Thursday night, but it's just definitely something just to monitor. I mean, if we all know if CMC would have missed time, Hubbard is basically like an 80% fab guy. Just grab him.
Any of the top running backs, you have to grab their backup now.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, Dalvin Cook got hurt like 3 times on Sunday. It's going to happen. So just grab the guy now because he'll be running back 1 in 3 weeks, 4 weeks.
Yeah, Chuba Hubbard, like you just said, Dalvin Cook got hurt. Even the Saints, Tony Jones did absolutely nothing on Sunday, but he's an elite handcuff. He's somebody that you're going to want to have if something were to happen to Kamara.
All right. Hey, we got a question in the chat room. I want to run this by you real quick, Nick, and I think this is a pretty slam dunk one. So Joe said that he was the last guy in his league to take a starting quarterback, which is a good thing to do.
It's a good thing.
And he got stuck with Tannehill, which isn't a bad thing.
No.
But he has Fields on his bench. Do you think he needs to do anything, or you think he's set up?
See, I think the Bears are going to be stubborn with Fields, and I think if Dalton basically has a pulse, they're going to play him, and it's starting to seem more and more obvious with that. I'm high on Derek Carr. I mean, it sucks to say, but Sam Darnold's becoming fantasy relevant. Daniel Jones, the poor man's Josh Allen right now, the way he's running. They're good spot starters depending on the matchup, and with Daniel Jones playing Atlanta, that's actually not a bad matchup play.
Yep. All right, so hopefully Daniel Jones is available for you. We feel a little bit stronger about him. I guess we'll finish off quarterbacks while we're here before we go to wide receivers.
Yeah, might as well.
Daniel Jones just offers an easy floor with the rushing yards. I mean, he's basically. It just seems like he's. I guess it's a product of a terrible offensive line, but it seems like every game going back to last year, I feel like he's rushing for 60 to 90 yards every single game.
When he's not tripping, of course.
That is the epic fail of all epic fails.
And you know what's great? He actually made up for it and had an amazing touchdown run, and it got called back on a penalty.
Right.
That would have been the redemption story.
All right. Do you realize that Derek Carr right now is I think he's leading the NFL in what?
He's awesome. He's been on fire.
Yeah, I think he's leading the NFL in passing yards.
Yeah,
and he's pretty much in standard formats. He's QB like 6 overall. Yeah. I mean, it's only 2 weeks.
We touted him in the summer too, like a Scott Fish Bowl, a Warrior Bowl, a super flex. He is super underrated as a QB too.
Right,
and right now he's pushing QB1 status on a fantasy team.
Tons of weapons.
Right,
Darren
Waller.
Well, being honest with you, one of the reasons that I was pushing him early in the offseason is because we look at him as a quarterback of a bad team. You're going to get a lot of garbage time production.
Yeah,
but they're playing really well right now. Miami has them this week. I'm looking forward to that game. I think it's going to be a challenge.
Is Tua going to play? That's the big question.
Yeah, we'll find out. He's day to day, but aren't we all?
Yeah, this is true.
Right. While we're on quarterbacks, what do you feel about Tyler Heinecke?
He's the answer. They should not turn back. I mean, not the answer for the future, but he's their quarterback this year. I don't think they should go back to Fitz. Tell Fitz, go to a retirement home and just stay away.
I got a question for the football guy. You ready? With all the injured quarterbacks this week, what wide receivers would you fade based on the crappy Jacob Eason starting and stuff? Who would you fade and who would you go with? I mean, I think that we've seen that Brandon Cooks is quarterback. Doesn't matter.
Oh, he's fine. I'm not worried about Davis Mills with him.
Start him, but someone like Michael Pittman or someone like that. Like,
bench. I would even move Jonathan Taylor to a fringe RB2, just because they're going to stack the box on that. I would still start him. I'm not going to sit him, but I would not put him as an RB1 this week.
And then I hear Big Ben has a pectoral muscle.
He's fine. He'll be fine.
And then Deandre Johnson.
He avoided.
He's not going to play.
No, he's probably not going to play, but he avoided a serious injury. Tomlin said.
Chase Day.
Chase Claypool, Juju, James Washington's speculative too.
Didn't have to use my AK. Let's go.
All right, let's cross over to some wide receiver talk. We just mentioned Daniel Jones.
Yep.
It looks like he has fallen in love with Sterling Shepard.
Yeah, not Kenny Galladay. It's Sterling Shepard. 9 catches, 94 yards, 10 targets. I think it's crystal clear who he enjoys throwing to, and Shepard's a PPR guy right now. I think there's not any arguments.
Galladay's too pissed off yelling at the offense coordinator.
Yeah, he wasn't happy with Jason Garrett, apparently. Who would be? Hey, just clap it out. Clap it out.
Yeah, that's all. The clapper. His lights must be going on and off all day long. Right?
I watched an old school Sopranos clip, and the old woman woke up and with a clapper and the lights went on. It actually brought a smile because that used to be the most popular thing.
Yep. All right, cool. All right, let's keep going with the wide receivers and probably the biggest ad.
Let me take this one.
Go for it.
Because
baby.
I have just been going through. We drafted 1,000 teams, and I've been going through all my rosters, loaded my team. Please have him. Yes, I do. Please have him. Yes, I do. Rondelle Moore. I have him everywhere, and it's so awesome to open my app and see him on my team. The breakout's coming. He is looking good. He's getting targets. Arizona's getting him on the field. It was an easy touchdown he had. We talked about it. It was an easy go-to touchdown, but he had the points. And his helium is skyrocketing. I've been touting him all summer. Every article I've written this summer, dating back to probably June, he's been in there. He's the guy. 7 catches, $114, 8 targets, and a touchdown. Cardinals using the most 4 receiver sets in football. He's on the field most of the time. He's getting. I think he out targeted basically every receiver on that team.
Hello?
Even DeAndre Hopkins.
Hello.
Hey.
Hello. No. He has some value, but people are going to overpay for him.
Oh, they're going to overpay, and that's what I'm afraid of.
Sell right now because there's just too many target people out there. They're running with 4 wide receiver sets. You know, they got the tight end who came out of nowhere, but he's only on the field for half the passing plays. But they're running 4 wide receiver sets. Kirk looks good. AJ Green, that's my boy, and Hopkins.
He did.
So Rondelle Moore that was a broken play that he had.
That's what I was saying.
So
don't
go crazy on this guy. You know, if you got him, let someone overpay for him. Sell.
Yeah, don't to Andy's point, don't bid 50% of your budget. I'd go maybe 20-25% of my budget and see if someone's sleeping. See if someone's blowing it on somebody else. If I have a top waiver claim, I might put it on him. But I won't spend all my money on him.
Someone will.
Somebody will. It's just like last week, Elijah Mitchell. What happened? He got hurt. And now I think they brought in Lamar Miller and Duke Johnson to compete and look at it's just a disaster.
I want to say something about Elijah Mitchell for a quick second.
Floor is yours.
Guys, this is Trey Sermon's backfield. I know he was on the field for one play. He fumbled and got concussed. The truth be told, once this guy gets the ball and takes over, he's going to take over, and that's what's going to happen.
Yeah.
So don't fall for all this. Trey Sermon's going to get dropped in several leagues this week. Okay.
Yes.
He's going to get dropped. You take him for free. he is a priority pickup. He's going to be a star. It's going to be easy. Okay. Let me go back to Rondelle Moore for a second, because I have to take a mea culpa here, and I gotta, I admit when I'm wrong. So I was all over it while we were talking, the three of us, during the game, and I watched the play, and it was a broken play. He was wide open by himself, standing there like, throw it to me, throw it to me. And he caught the ball, turned around and ran. And yes, he's very fast. And I'm like, guys, 77 yards came on a broken play. But then when I watched the game back, right after that, the next drive,
he looked great. Yes.
Kyler Murray was doing nothing but peppering him with targets. He's like, ooh, that was fun. I got to do this some more. And he kept looking for him. So I think that there's something there, and there should be a criminal investigation as to why he's only 19% owned, and he needs to be 100% owned next week.
Yeah,
absolutely. Andy, I agree with your point that you shouldn't overpay on it, but you need to put in one of those honesty bids to keep the rest whatever it might be. Put a bid for 15% of your budget in there and force your league mates to pay for it. Don't let them off the hook. If he's only going for 15% of budget, you deserve him and you win. And other than that, let them pay that premium.
Yeah, definitely.
Real quick, while we're on wide receivers, Nick, we have a question in the chat room.
And he's actually the next guy we're going to talk about anyway.
Well, Mike, all right, let's go.
Yep.
KJ Osborne
question
is he's rising, and here's the thing with Irv Smith's injury, Chris Herndon's there, and he's just he's gone. KJ Osborne's getting those tight end targets. I wouldn't worry about Justin Jefferson. I think he's going to get his. I think Adam Thielen's going to get his, and KJ Osborne's that third target in that offense. I think he's becoming a flex play, a low end flex play right now. But I wouldn't be worried about Justin Jefferson at all. He's a star, and a stud. He's going to get his targets.
Yeah, I think you're good, Mike.
Yeah, you're good. I wouldn't worry one bit about it. I think Osborne's. He was a special teamer last year. He's coming on strong in 2 weeks. I wouldn't buy too much into him eating away at the Stars' talent.
Awesome. All right, Nick, you got any speculative? Man, I can't say speculative today. You got any more spec picks that you want to look out?
Spec picks. So let me put a number out to you that I was shocked at when I actually typed it out. Braxton Burial's got 11 targets on Sunday.
He's awesome. I love that.
He got 11 targets. He's the kick returner and the punt returner for the Jets.
You know,
granted, Jamison Crowder was out.
Yeah.
It's clear as day the coaching staff is a fan of Berrios, and he's getting playing time left and right.
Well, just think about this. Zach Wilson can't complete any passes to anyone on his own team except for Berrios.
Exactly.
He keeps going to him. He likes the other team, but he goes to Berrios when he doesn't go to the other team.
And then just to stay with the Jets, it really upset me. Not the 4 interceptions, but he had Elijah Moore on a wheel route. If he led him straight up the field, it's a walk-in touchdown, and he led him to the sideline. Elijah Moore is getting better as the weeks go on, and I would expect him within the next week or two to really break out.
If
Zach Wilson
doesn't throw off his back foot.
Yeah. But again, he could have had a bigger stat line right there.
It is around Halloween. He might be seeing ghosts too. Who knows?
And just a quick rant, referees giving the Patriots that free fumble in the beginning could have turned the tide of the game. Just a salty Jet fan here. Outside of what's that?
Go ahead.
I was going to say outside of that, Tim Patrick, he didn't do much.
That's what I was going to ask you about.
Yeah, he had 4 targets. He caught 3 passes, but he did have a touchdown on 37 yards. He's there. Double digits, back-to-back weeks. I don't think he's a priority ad. Maybe he's one of those, I'm not going to waste a waiver pick, but if he's there the next morning, I'll add him kind of players. Something to keep an eye on. But you got KJ Hamler that's there. Noah Fant's getting better. Cortland Sutton, if he stays healthy, is good. So Tim Patrick's just someone to keep an eye on.
Nice. One of the other guys you mentioned in your article, and I like that you called him a Scott Fishbowl pickup, is Quez Watkins, because I picked him up last week in the Scott Fishbowl. Mm-hmm. So boom, right there. Big playability, man.
Yes. He almost took a 91-yard catch. He should have took that to the house.
Are you saying boom like you started him in Scott Fishbowl?
I did not start him, but I got him. I got him, bro.
All right,
I picked him up before anybody heard of him.
Rondelle Moore was on my bench in Scott Fishbowl, and it really hurts me.
Listen, as far as Quez Watkins, he was one of the best players in the NFL in the preseason. He was all over the field. Man. So this guy is a thing, man. You definitely need to buy him. I don't care what your format is. Put him at the end of your bench and watch, because it's going to happen.
You're talking about practice, man. We're talking about practice. Man.
Yeah. I mean, I'm hoping it's not another Travis Fulgham from last year, because I fell for that too. I bought him in a dyno, and he crashed and burned on me. It was like a 4 weeks of goodness and then a bunch of crap.
And then they cut him in the offseason.
Right. All right, Nick, anything we were looking at tight end, or is it a dead week?
Max Williams, Jack Doyle, I will just move on. Nobody crazy. I mean, Juwan Johnson and Troutman had pretty quiet weeks for the Saints. I think everybody had a quiet week for the Saints. So if they're still available, if somebody rage drops them, I would look at them. And again, very possible rage drops all week. Trey Sermon, look at Juwan Johnson, Adam Troutman could be dropping deeper leagues. Michael Carter's probably dropped somewhere. McKissick's probably out there. All these guys have been dropped at some point.
Yeah, you want to stay away from those Saints guys like Marquez Callaway, right, Jeff?
Yeah. Take him.
Ouch.
Ouch.
Listen, I had the top scorer in my conference in Fishbowl with him in my lineup giving me 2 points, and Tua give me -4. So I'll live with it, man. I'm going to sit on that and wait, because I still think it's going to happen.
And by the way, someone's going to overpay for Max Williams.
Sure, go for it. Have fun.
Yeah, it's not going to be good.
The Cardinals have never done anything with a tight end ever.
Never.
All right, guys. Let's go through each game and kind of see if there's anything. Just spend 1 minute on each game coming up for week 3. We got the Thursday night special.
Special.
I think I'm going to sleep through this one. We got the Panthers going to the Texans. We got a quarterback change, and we got Brandon Cooks popping off. Okay. Anything else on the Houston side that we're interested in?
Brandon Cooks. That's it. And that's it. Nico Collins is on IR. That hurts me.
Right.
So just Brandon Cooks.
Right. What do we think of Farrell Brown at this point? Are we disappointed in that?
Low end tight end. Low end tight end too.
Okay. Any interest? I know you said that you were impressed with Sam this week after you hated him last week.
He's going to go 3. He's going to go 3-0 on a cake schedule here.
Right. Anything with the wide receivers that we're interested in?
Just DJ Moore. I'm not too.
They look good.
I'm not too high on Robbie. I think in the Jets game, he only had 3 targets. I wouldn't even touch him. I think DJ Moore and McCaffrey the only 2, and then for dynasty purposes, Marshall.
Yeah, you want to stash Marshall, even for redraft. I think he's a good stash. I think he's somebody that's going to pop off later on in the year.
Mm-hmm. Oh, for sure.
All right. This is a big week for knockout pools. There's a lot of games with a spread over 7. The next game on the docket is the football team at Buffalo. Buffalo's laying 9. So we're looking at McKissick. We're looking at what's going on with Gibson. We're interested to see Heinecke. Josh Allen is only QB 17, I believe, right now.
Yeah, he's struggling a little bit.
Are you concerned there, or that's variance?
Not at all.
Fix itself.
I think Josh Allen will end the season a top 5, top 7 quarterback.
Right. I know you guys like Gabriel Davis. He looks pretty good so far.
Yeah, he's a deep sleeper. Something to keep an eye on.
Well, what about my guy Devin Singletary? I drafted him in Fishbowl.
It looks good. Zach Moss is not a thing anymore.
No, Zach Moss is going to have some time. I think he's going to come in and actually get some time a little later. And if you can get him now, I would. But Singletary looks really good, and I think that if the Bills can run the ball and not let Josh Allen make a lot of scrambling and getting hurt and stuff, I think they're going to try to run the ball. I think both guys are going to be viable. But right now, Singletary looks good.
Yeah, definitely.
All right. The next game on the slate is some injuries may come into play here. We got the Bears at Cleveland, who's laying 7 points. So we got an injury on the Bears quarterback situation, and we got an injury to the Cleveland basically everywhere. I mean, there's a lot of question marks in Cleveland, right, Nick?
Yeah, Odell should make his debut, I would think, on Sunday. Jarvis is out. Baker was hurt. He went back in. He'll be fine. But, definitely something to keep an eye on with the receivers.
Right.
I might lose Austin Hooper in this game.
Right. Do you think the Schwartz may be with us?
Cecil Shorts?
Listen, Anthony Schwartz is fast, man.
He was fast. He looks good.
This is the closest thing to Tyreek Hill I've seen, bro. I know that sounds crazy. I'm not comparing him to Tyreek Hill, but I like that quickness and that jolt. There's a lot to be excited about there. But I think Odell's in an absolute smash spot without Landry. We talked about it last week or on the DFS show, I believe it was, that Landry without OBJ is not really a thing. But OBJ without Landry is gonna be a thing.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
It's like pepper with targets all day long.
Yep.
Right. What's the deal with Dalton? Is he gonna play? Is he okay?
If he has a pulse, he's gonna play.
Yeah, that's sad.
The Bears seem dead set on playing him. Power to them. I don't know. I wouldn't do it.
All right. So the Ravens are at the Lions, and the Ravens are laying a touchdown with a hook. And I look at that, and I feel like that's a broken line. Like, I feel like the Ravens are going to smoke the hell out of them.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
And the line's at 7.5, and I'm almost ready to lay that 7.5. If it's not going to move, it's going to move to like 9, I think. So, any players in this game that we're excited about? Hollywood Brown looks pretty good.
He's been crushing it back-to-back weeks. Been crushing it, and I think on Yahoo I saw he's only like 60-something% owned. So he might still be out there for a few leagues.
Wow.
He had that questionable mark in the beginning of the day. So I just kind of, I don't want to. Wide receivers can pop something real quick. So if I want to take the safe points, and I stayed away from him this week, put him on my bench. Oof.
Right. Nick, any opinion about the Ravens backfield at this point?
Don't touch it.
Yeah,
I think Tyshawn's he's higher up in the stat pool right now, but I think it's just going to be a disaster. Everyone's going to get looks there. It's just not worth that fight. If it's a bye week situation, it's worth it, but right now I wouldn't touch it.
All right. On the Detroit side of the ball, we talked about how Goff looks pretty good.
He does. He does.
I'm a big fan of Quintez Cephas. I have him in a couple of dynasty stashes. That's somebody I'm looking about. Is there anybody else we care about, or are we expecting the Baltimore defense to kind of smother them this week?
Yeah, you want to see the running back situation play out. Swift versus Jamal Williams. It seems like they're both going to have some kind of relevance, and Goff looks good.
Right. All right. From a gambling angle, I want to talk about the next game. The Titans are hosting the Colts, and they're laying 5.5, but the total's only 48. That seems pretty low to me because the Titans defense is a sieve right now. They're not doing anything.
That's the Wentz effect right now.
Right, but does it really matter?
Jacob Eason? Yeah, it does.
Is Wentz is really that much to the line? Wentz makes that much of an impact? Because if you would have asked me the total of this game, I would have said 53, and it's 48.
How many points do you think Jacob Eason can put up?
I mean, it's Carson Wentz. When was the last time he was really truly relevant?
Yeah,
ever? Right? I just think that line's broken. I think I'm going to hit that over pretty hard. You mentioned Jonathan Taylor as somebody you're a little bit down on, a little worried about.
Yeah,
this is a guy we were drafting like 4th, 5th overall.
Because I feel like they're going to stack the box on Eason, and they might make it tougher. Might do some scat downs to Hines. It's just a little worrisome with that. But then again, who knows?
Yeah, I hear you. We were high on Hines last week. He kind of let us down a little bit. I think that's the player season. That's probably the player that gets the most boost out of the quarterback situation right now.
Yeah.
If Wentz is out, right?
Yep.
Fade the wide receivers.
Oh yeah, don't touch.
Downgrade Taylor a little bit. You probably want to stay away from Taylor in DFS.
Yeah, DFS stay away.
Boost Hines a little bit.
Yeah.
You
I
agree
did
with
that
that,
last
Andy?
week. I did last week and burned me. Why not just go back? Let's go.
Right. And it's Derrick Henry time all day long, man.
Oh God, he crushed it.
He's the greatest of all time, man. I love this guy. He's just making me money left and right.
He is so
boy.
good.
Yep. All right. So the next game is a pretty exciting one. This has the highest total on the board at 55.5. The Chiefs are a touchdown favorite with the Chargers coming to town. A lot of fantasy goodness there, right? Start them all.
Ooh, a little quick side note, victory lap. I'm ranked number 8 in Razzball right now. Overall.
Nice. Impressive.
Woo! Sorry, what was that? What were you saying?
What's that got to do with the Chargers and the Chiefs?
Go Eckler, go Herbert, go Keenan Allen.
All of the above. Mike Williams looks great.
Mike Williams.
Williams
give him
looks
all.
great right now. Everything on the Chiefs. Nick, where you at with Mecole Hardman? Scary.
I mean, Pringle, once you pop, you can't stop is there. He's doing well. And I heard Pringles actually is now sponsoring him.
Oh, my God.
It took long enough.
He had 8 targets. He looked involved.
Nice. All right. The next game, closing down the 1 o'clock games, we got the Saints are at New England. And New England's only laying 3. That feels like a broken line to me. New England -3. I haven't seen anything that scares me off of New England at all. They look good to me.
They look really good.
Even in a loss to Miami, I thought they looked pretty good and they had their act together. And I think they're going to be a force this year. So fire up everybody on New England. 100%.
Pretty much, yeah.
The Saints, it's basically Kamara or bust right now. Kamara is not even a RB1 right now, but you're not worried about him at all, right?
No,
not at all.
Relax, trolls.
All right. The Falcons, we touched on this a little bit earlier. Falcons are getting 3 at the Giants with a total of 48. Any fantasy goodness in this action?
For the Giants, I would probably say Saquon.
Yeah.
Saquon, he's got 10 days rest. He's going against the Atlanta Falcons. I think this is the bounce back spot. If this is not the bounce back spot, I don't know when it's going to be.
Right. The Falcons are traditionally bad against pass catching running backs. They always have been. So that's a perfect spot for him because that's something he excels in.
Mm-hmm. 100%.
All right. Are you worried about Calvin Ridley? Because Matt Ryan looks old.
Nah, I'm not worried.
I'm not either. All right, good. Andy, you talked about the Steelers quite a bit before. You're in on Claypool big time, right?
All day.
Juju looks good too, man. He's involved.
True.
Yeah.
I don't take one or the other. They're both going to hit, maybe.
All right. Any impressions on Najee Harris? Looked a little better this week.
He had that stiff arm. That's for damn sure.
Yep.
I don't know if you saw that.
Yeah, definitely, absolutely. And where we at? Tyler Boyd let us down a little bit last week. He was good. I think he went for 7 for 73, but didn't get in the box, I believe. Jamar Chase looked good again.
Yeah, the
T. Higgins scored a touchdown as well.
The least amount of targets, Chase.
Yeah, but he did what he had to do with what he had.
Yeah,
Get the job done.
Joe Mixon, where are we at with him? No worries, right?
Nah, no worries. He's a set him and forget him.
All right. I got another potentially broken line here with the Cardinals on the road laying 7.5 to the Jacksonville Jaguars. Do we think that Jacksonville can compete with Arizona because their defense looks good and their offense looks sick?
No,
Hammer time on Arizona.
Trevor Lawrence, I think they said, had 34% of uncatchable passes thrown.
Here's my problem. The media is destroying Zach. What about Trevor Lawrence?
Yeah, that's true.
He looks awful right now. I mean, I'm not going to knock these rookies. They're rookies. But if the media wants to play that game, why aren't we going after Trevor Lawrence?
Yep.
He looks terrible.
I was watching some of that game, and the announcer, I don't remember who it was, I'm sorry, but he actually said, and Lawrence threw for 300 yards. He said, "This is the worst football game Trevor Lawrence has ever played in his life." And that's probably true.
Yeah.
So,
and they're looking at 0-3.
So
I mean, if you look what I'm looking at already, Tankathon, it looks like last year. Jets and Jags, top 2 right now.
Yeah, I hear you. So from a gambling perspective, Andy, I don't really like road favorites all that much, but doesn't a 2-team teaser of Baltimore -1.5, Arizona -1.5 look pretty sexy?
Really sexy. I'm gonna have to ask my wife for a loan. Get that hammer out.
All right, the biggest spread on the slate is actually the Jets are getting 10.5 from Denver. Ooh. So what are we looking at from that? What do you look to expect from the Jets?
That's a trap game.
Ain't no trap.
I think they have Baltimore the next week, and they're looking at a 3-0 start. They might be looking ahead.
Suicide lock.
Oh, the Jets are definitely going to lose, but I think they have a chance to cover.
Did you see what Cortland Sutton did too? Yeah, he had a big game, and KJ Hamler, done. He was non-existent. But our boy Noah Fant, he's going to eat this week too. Trust me.
Love it.
Yeah, love it.
I gave that out as an over at what, 610 yards for the season.
Yeah,
come on, man. That if he stays healthy, that'll hit by week 10. Nice. All right. The next 4:00 game, we got the Dolphins traveling across the country to visit Las Vegas, where there's a spread of 4. If there's anything that scares me more is when people that live on South Beach go to travel and they go to Vegas, because that's freaking scary. Bring the party back, right? So, Will Fuller should be back. He was at practice. He's back at practice, so he's back with the team. So whatever was going on with that, he's ready to make his debut. It's just a question mark of, is Tua ready? And should he even be ready? Like, do we want to put this guy at risk, because that offensive line is truly offensive right now?
Oh, it looks terrible.
Yeah, I mean, I literally was watching that game, obviously, and in the first 15 offensive plays, there was 9 negative plays by the offensive line, where it was either a blown assignment or they just got run over or a stupid penalty. They just look terrible right now, and they need a lot of help on the line, and it's going to be scary all year long.
That's just not good.
It's not good for a fragile quarterback, and I really, as a Dolphins fan, I want to watch him compete, and I want to watch him develop and see if he's really what I think he could be, but it's scary. And if they just sat him down for the year until they fix the offensive line, I'd kind of be okay with it at this point.
Yeah.
Henry Ruggs, pretty good, huh?
Looked good. He looked good.
Yeah, I'm feeling Henry Ruggs. What did you feel about the backfield with Kenyon Drake and Peyton Barber?
So Peyton Barber, he's there. He's stealing some carries from Drake. They pay Drake all that money, and here comes Peyton Barber out of literally nowhere.
Right. So it's just a pimple on the ass, right?
Pretty much. I mean, I would think Jacobs can be back next week, and I don't know. It's a very confusing backfield. Drake is right now maybe not even a flex option if that keeps up.
All right. So the next 2 games probably keep up with the Kansas City game and fireworks. Both have a 55.5 total. We have the Tampa Bay Bucks at the Los Angeles Rams, and I can't wait for that game.
Yeah, it's a good one.
Oh,
baby, you're a firework, right? Holy crap. So everybody's good there. The problem is that it seems like in New England, it was always, who do you play in their backfield? We don't know what to do with Belichick. I feel like Brady's kind of doing that to us in Tampa with his receiving core. Like, this week it's going to be Evans. And whoever's in his head, it feels like it's almost matchup proof of who's going to pop off on a week-to-week basis.
Well, listen to this. The past 3 games, Gronk has 6 touchdowns. Super Bowl, week 1, week 2. He was plus 800 to catch 2 touchdown passes on DraftKings. And I told someone I'm not doing it because it's a dumb bet. And he did it and won. Wow.
Woo. That's looking good. Remember, that was my bold prediction.
I know.
Over 10, and we're already 40% of the way there with 15 games left to go. So stay healthy, kid.
Yeah.
All right, but you're firing everybody else up, right? There's no benching anyone in this. If you have any key player, Higbee, Woods, Cooper Kupp looks like he might be the best wide receiver in the game now. Everybody on Tampa, you just fire him up, right?
Mm-hmm.
Even if Antonio Brown, who let us down, you fire him up again, right?
Yeah, I wouldn't worry about that.
Right. All right, what about Seattle at Minnesota? More fireworks, right? I think this is your trap game here because Minnesota's at home and they're the underdog by 2 points. I think Minnesota holds their own against Seattle here.
Very possible. Seattle choked out. Thank you, Jamal Adams, for that one. Go Vikings.
It's nice. All right, on to the two primetime games. We got the Packers. The Packers are always on primetime, and I'm good with that. Absolutely. So the Packers travel to San Francisco. San Francisco is laying 3.5.
Rodgers seems to struggle against the 49ers.
What do you think it is? Returning home as a Cali guy?
He was a 49er fan growing up.
Yep.
So, I don't know. It's just weird. NFC Championship game 2 years ago, he got crushed by them.
Right. Any concerns about Kittle? Kittle didn't really look himself.
No, he has not been.
How about Brandon Ayuk?
Yeah,
Brandon Ayuk.
That's the thing.
What's going on?
It's frustrating because apparently the San Francisco beat is saying that Ayuk was struggling to learn a role. Trey Sermon was struggling. Where were these reports all summer long?
Yeah,
Ayuk was struggling to learn stuff. Why didn't we know this in August? Why didn't we know Trey Sermon was doing nothing and all? It's weird. Weird to me.
What I want to know is why aren't the trolls on the beat writers and why are they on us that are doing this for free? Right? There's people out there that get paid to do this. Why don't you give them a hard time and then call them a moron? Because they're not doing their job. This isn't my job. We're doing this for the hell of it. We're having fun and trying to help people. Jesus Christ. I didn't plan to rant today and we went at it twice.
There it is.
There it is. All right. So what about the backfield, though, Nick? I believe in Sermon, but let's say what happens if Sermon's out this week? What on
if
earth
Sermon's
is gonna
out,
happen?
you were going with Elijah Mitchell. That shoulder holds up. Hasey's out several weeks. They're looking at Lamar Miller, and I think they brought in Duke Johnson possibly.
Yep.
So you might have one of these guys as the RB2, which is crazy. Disgusting. Right. Stash Jeff Wilson if you can.
Yeah, that's exactly what I was going to say. This backfield, ultimately, I think Elijah Mitchell takes a backseat to either Wilson or Sermon, one of those on the long term. All right, and then wrapping up the week is the Cowboys Monday Night Football with a division rival, Philadelphia Eagles. Love what I see from Jalen Hurts so far.
Should be a good game.
Love it.
Yeah, it should be a very good game.
Right. Now, Nick, talk to me about what's going on in the Cowboys receiving corps right now, because it sounds like Cooper's a little banged up.
Mm-hmm.
Gallup's out.
Gallup's out.
So who are you going to go to? Who are you going to go to?
Cedric Wilson.
No, the guy I told you to go to last week.
CeeDee Lamb.
Yes.
That's easy.
Right.
Yeah,
he's easy go.
It was easy. And I was saying it last week, and he's still getting the same targets. Guy's a superstar.
Yeah, he's gonna be a second round pick next year.
He just might be dynasty wide receiver number 1.
He was the top receiver come out of the draft last year.
I had to sell you on him last week, Jeff. I sold you.
You did. I mean,
15 targets, 9 targets, 24 targets in 2 games.
Right. Well, that's the bottom line, though, is the most important thing, and we talked about it on the DFS show, is he had 14 targets on the first look. Like, not 14 targets.
Yep.
14 targets where Dak looked at him, threw him the ball, didn't look anywhere else. Like, boom, bop, there he is, go. 14 times. That's incredible.
Mm-hmm.
All right, that basically wraps up the week 3 preview. Nick, you got anything you want to add before we wrap it up?
No, just keep an eye on who's dropped tonight. Before you set your waivers, check by roster percentage, see if there's any stars that kind of slip through the cracks. And I still haven't set mine yet, and I'm half asleep, so it's gonna be fun setting mine tonight.
Dude, I'm telling you, the fantasy concierge, we need this, man. We need to build this system where people will do your waivers for you because I need it big time. I don't know how many leagues. I'm just skipping it. Like, I don't love the waiver wire this week, and I know
there's not that many good options.
You got to compete every week. I'm just taking a week off, man. There's nobody I need. Didn't catch any of the major injuries this week. I'm out.
If you got that, I have that number 2 waiver in a couple leagues. I'm saving it. I'll wait until tomorrow morning to see who slipped through the cracks. I'm just going to save it. I'm going to wait for that one running back to elevate to the top and take that.
Right. Did you guys take a look at Survivor yet, or you want to do that on Friday?
I think I just took Carolina. I just took Carolina. I might change that.
I already said that. It's Broncos all day.
I can't bet against the Jets.
No, you have to.
I can't do it.
If you want to win the Survivor, you have to.
Yeah, I'll pick Carolina because I won't pick them the rest of the year.
Oh.
Right. All right, guys. We appreciate everybody checking us out today. It's been fun. This has been a great time. The trolls stayed home, so that's fine, man. We don't need them.
We'll see them on Saturday or Friday.
Yeah, you'll see them Saturday.
Yeah, they'll be back on. Be back on Friday or Saturday. I'm not sure when we're going to record.
On Saturday night at 10 o'clock when they have nothing to do. They're single and they're home alone. Go ahead.
Well, all right.
Oh, man.
All right, guys. Remember, please, down below here, at hello, my name is Reed on Venmo. Please help this family out as you're setting your waiver claims today. Take $1, 1 minute, anything that you could give, a retweet, anything like that helps out. Rally for Reed October 2nd. We'll continue talking about it thereafter. This has been the Fantasy Podcast Stack Attack. He's and Mimi. This is Trader Andy. I'm J Trella 20. Trevor, thanks for all you do. Take us on out of here. Peace, guys.